And here we are. Happy Thursday to everybody, even though for some reason my third right here is saying Tuesday. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. Boom, and there we go. Thursday, July 13th. Thank you guys so much for joining me here at the First Alert Desk. My name is Alan Devlin. We're going over some top stories today as one of my executive producers stares at me right off camera. I would ask him to walk away from the scene. Thank you. Jason Lewis, everybody. All right, I got three stories for you guys I want to walk you through here. All of them on a local level for the most part. And so you guys have likely heard us talking about this, or you've got wind of it elsewhere. We will be covering this moving forward into the rest of the evening as well. So if you get a small piece of it here, because I'm only going to give you guys about 10 minutes or so before we jump into weather, don't worry, beginning at 9 o'clock on Peachtree TV, 10 o'clock on Peachtree TV, and then back at 11 on WANF CBS, we will have more continued coverage of these stories. I want to start off with one of our big stories of the day, which is that we found out that the Department of Justice is going to be investigating, looking into our jail, the Fulton County Jail here in Atlanta, for a number of reasons. It kind of harkens back to the death of an inmate there, the most recent death of an inmate there, LaShawn Thompson, who was found riddled in bed bugs and bed bug bites. His body was found in the jail cell that investigators say was not well kept. His family alleges that the jail did not treat him for his mental issues or his physical health issues, and that he was mistreated in that jail while he was there. They also allege that a lot of other people in the jail have been mistreated. So with that in mind, the Department of Justice is now getting involved, not necessarily because of that incident, but just as a whole, because Fulton County Sheriff Pat Labat has been saying for years he wants to upgrade the jail. He wants to do better for the jail. It's just a massive undertaking to the tune of upwards of $1.3 billion. Where does that money come from? Likely taxpayers. That's where this is going to end up. So now there's a discussion about who's going to pay for the jail. And you all think about that whole police training facility going on with the city of Atlanta up in DeKalb County that the protesters call Cop City. There's a lot of pushback on that because that money is coming out of taxpayer dollars too. So they're trying to get ahead of that as well. But regardless of them trying to improve the jail, the Department of Justice is still investigating. And so how long will that take? What are they looking for in particular? We don't know. But when they come through with what they've discovered, what they found, that will be public, we will have that. We will let you know. But again, they are continuously trying to upgrade that jail. Just nothing is free. That's honestly where this really stands at for right now. So the next story I want to talk to you guys about here is one over in Athens. Let's drive an hour and a half to the east really quick and talk about the unfortunate situation that happened in January where two UGA football team members, a staffer and a player, Devlin Chandler LaCroix, lost their lives in that deadly crash. A projected top 3 draft pick in Jalen Carter was in a vehicle that was out there with them. There was allegations of street racing. The situation was investigated. No charges were filed in that matter. But now what we have is a survivor of that crash. One of the 2 survivors of that crash that were in that car driven by Chandler LaCroix, now suing the University of Georgia Athletics Department in regards to that crash. And it is an interesting story taking place in Athens. Let's take a listen.
What's really interesting here, this is one of the first times we've seen an NIL agreement in a lawsuit. And not just that, the company itself, Sarchione Auto Gallery, is also named. According to the lawsuit, Jalen Carter was named a Sarchione athlete as part of his NIL deal. In exchange, Sarchione agreed to give him a Jeep Trackhawk in September 2022. It was in this car that Carter was ticketed for speeding and illegal dark tint. And it was in this car that police alleged Carter was racing Chandler LaCroix's car at the time of the fatal crash in January.
And there you have it. And it is a situation where, again, you're dealing with a superstar now in the NFL, a massive megastar in the college football world, being named in this lawsuit. And it kind of comes down to that NIL deal that we just talked about there, where they are now suing the NIL portion of Jalen Carter's career, of his profile. But this case is very, very early in the works, and our investigates team will continue to monitor that, keep an eye on that, and we will go from there. The last one is one that we can all get behind, honestly. A little bit of money. That's what we're talking about here because the Powerball drawing is once again reaching record highs. We're now sitting at $870 million. That is the third highest jackpot ever. And I actually don't really understand this one because I'll tell you what, we've had these types of stories at least 5 times in the last year and a half, honestly, where we've got a new top 3 record for the jackpot. But the odds don't change. So I guess the only answer would be that less people are buying tickets, which means it's harder to win. And everyone's really waiting to buy it when it starts getting to these massive amounts like $600, $700, $800 million. I mean, if no one wins Saturday, it very well could jump up to $1 billion. And we've seen that a couple of times here in the last 5 to 6 years where the jackpot has gone over to $1 billion. I think our last winner was in California. They got all of that jackpot. Here are yesterday's numbers. I'm going to take down that lower third there so you can see. I mean, don't even check your ticket because nobody won them, because otherwise the jackpot wouldn't be going up. But these are the winning numbers. Had you had a time machine, you'd be $650 million richer right now. But the next drawing, like I said, is coming up on Saturday. So you can buy your ticket up until 10:58 on Saturday. That drawing will be at 11. I will be buying a ticket. I've bought, I think, 2 in a row now. Of course, I'm here, so I didn't win. But regardless, I only buy it when we start talking about it. When the news starts talking about it, I think that's a pretty good time to start buying the ticket because then that money is really, really worthwhile. But don't let me convince you that $10 million or $5 million isn't also life-changing money, because obviously it is. How about a live look outside right now, guys? This is our beautiful city. You see the Pencil building over there on the left. You got Mercedes-Benz back there on the right. City in the trees for sure. Really, really hot day, honestly. A lot of my friends were complaining about the heat and the humidity, but it's July in the South. What do you expect? This is exactly what we're going to get. I've got meteorologist Patrick Pete here who's going to come in and talk to you guys about the weather coming up because, Patrick, we've got a first alert. You're not Cutter, you're Patrick. I'm going to take that down. We've got a first alert coming up this weekend, right?
Yes, sir. First alert coming up for Saturday. And we have some more rain chances to talk about. There's some showers moving through this evening, some rumbles of thunder tomorrow, and then we're first alerting Saturday. And we don't expect for the rain chance on Saturday to be overwhelming, but we know that a lot of you are going to be going out and about, trying to get by the pool. I mean, hey, it's Saturday. Trying to have some fun, and we're going to expect a little bit of thunderstorm activity, especially in the afternoon and evening, so we want you to at least be prepared. It's just a heads up, a very casual, hey, there's going to be some storms firing up that could at least put a damper on some of your outdoor plans, and we want you to be aware. On top of that, not a major cool down with these storms. So temperatures are going to be at or above normal as we head through the next few days. And then as we head into next week, temperatures are really going to climb into the mid 90s. And I'm just going to cue you in a little bit. You may see us trend those numbers a little bit warmer Wednesday, Thursday, if the data continues to come in at the numbers that they're coming in now, because it's looking ridiculous, to be completely honest, as far as the temperatures are concerned. So that's reason enough for you to dial in and check with us as we head through the next couple of days to see how those numbers evolve. Nonetheless, we know it's going to be hot, and we can already say that now. So let's get you ready for the next 24 hours. If you're thinking about hitting the links in the morning, or like most folks going to work, I do expect mainly dry conditions. Guidance has been hitting at this little short wave, moving in early morning, bringing some showers to the mountains. So we're going to keep a rain chance there for the start of the day, but really watching the afternoon hours for those scattered showers and thunderstorms to start to fire up roughly 3, 4, and unfortunately during that 5 o'clock rush hour, going to be a bit messy. So expect some slowdowns in some places and be prepared for it. All of that energy should start to die down as we head into the evening hours. So starting off with numbers in the mid-70s for the morning, getting into the 80s pretty quickly. By around lunchtime, we're at 84 degrees, but you can see those rain chances really increasing for us as we head into the afternoon. Temperatures hovering near 90 degrees. It's going to be humid, so those feel-like numbers are going to be in the mid to upper 90s, much like they were today. And then those storms are going to be around, especially for the 5 o'clock evening commute. Expecting things to die down through the overnight hours, and we are expecting a good mix of sun and clouds with temps in the mid to upper 70s to start off Saturday. So we're in marathon season. If y'all are trying to get out early morning and prepare for some of these runs, listen, it is going to be warm and it's going to be humid. So drink plenty of water, hydrate before you go to sleep Friday night, hydrate in the morning before you go for your run. The numbers get into the low 90s for the afternoon at 1 o'clock, and we're already going to start to see some isolated showers and storms firing up. They're going to become more scattered as we head later into the day. You can see everybody's not going to be getting these storms, but the storm potential exists because the atmosphere is going to be very, very buoyant. So we're going to be watching out for those storms on radar. Temperature still climbing into the 90s for most folks, and we'll be tracking that energy dying off as we head into the overnight hours. The severe weather risk isn't really there, but the potential for some heavy rain, some frequent lightning, and some gusty winds inside of these storms exists. So we'll definitely be prepared for that as we head into Saturday. You can see that the muggy meter staying in that oppressive territory as we head through the end of the work week into the weekend. Eventually we take a dip as we head towards Monday and Tuesday. But that dip is going to come with an increase in temperature, so it's still going to be hot. So no major cool down there at all. Continue to monitor the tropics. You can kind of see that there's this area of low pressure that's spinning around in the central Atlantic. Looks like we have some new information on that. So a higher risk of this becoming a system over the course of the next 2 days. This would be a subtropical system based off of what we're seeing off of satellite imagery, but we'll continue to keep you dialed in. That could end up being our next named storm. I think the next name on the list is Don. So you'll want to check in tonight. We'll have some information coming in. Actually, it just came in at 8. So we'll have that deciphered and redrawn for you at 9 on Peachtree TV. 7-day forecast with, of course, your weekend in view. Saturday is going to be the wetter of the 2 days, and this first alert is kind of just a heads up that there's going to be some showers and storms around in the afternoon and evening when you're trying to get outside and, throw some steaks or whatever on the grill. Lower rain chance for Sunday, but still hot and humid. Temperatures warming Monday, Tuesday, 94 degrees, and then Wednesday, Thursday, we're going mid-90s, but we could see those numbers trend a little bit northward. This could be our hottest era of the season moving in Wednesday, Thursday, so you'll want to stay dialed in and you'll want to stay weather aware. More importantly, you're going to want to stay hydrated and, practice all of those heat safety tips, which we will be throwing at you over the course of the next week as this ridge of high pressure brings in some unseasonably warm numbers. So it's been fun, guys. Everybody that's at home, I hope you're having a fantastic Thursday night. I always have to think a little bit before I say that because, the days all run together. And no one is speaking on YouTube, but I see a lot of y'all are watching. Good evening, everyone on YouTube. How are y'all doing? You can throw me a couple of comments real quick. I'll give y'all about 30 seconds to say hey or to shout out any questions that y'all may have for us tonight. But I can see all of the people who are currently viewing. I can see you. So everybody that's at home, I hope you guys are having a fantastic evening. Check it out. We had a full newscast coming up tonight. It's been a lot of crazy stories going on in the news lately, and we've been definitely dissecting those for you. And you can catch that tonight on Peachtree TV at 9 and 10. And you guys know that we will wrap this up on Atlanta News First at 11. So everybody's shy on YouTube. I'm going to let y'all live y'all's best life, but we will catch y'all tomorrow or tonight.